There are at least 40 countries in the world with women as heads of state, and in those countries, women occupy about a third of seats in parliament. In Nigeria, women occupy just 6.5%. It's difficult to understand because women are active campaigners, high profile in business and trade, and have professional careers, but they stare away from putting themselves up for election.
Maybe they are shy or they feel that they cannot do it. That is why we have more of men, because of confidence.
I'm interested, but I keep remembering what my father told me, that politics is a dirty game. So that does not encourage me to join.
Our culture still do not allow women to still be leader over men. They still feel a woman should be under a man. So you see, when a woman ventures out, they'll be like, where is she going to? Who is support her?
Joan Marapo represents a constituency of Aniocha North and South, Ochimili North and South Delta State at the House of Assembly. She comes from a long line of politicians and doesn't consider politics to be gender-related.
From the primary school, I start with the boys. We had the same teacher. Most times the girls beat the boys. Same class, same teacher, same subjects. So I can't place the disconnect. But suddenly, the woman decides to take the background. The woman suddenly decides to see the man as a threat. Unfortunately, I am not part of that group.
The number of female representatives may be low, but that doesn't mean they're not actively involved in politics. Some have found other means to lend their voices to the nation's development.
Aisha Yesufu has been very vocal in the campaign for the rescue of the kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls. She believes being an activist helps her stay true to herself.
For me, in speaking out, I do it on my own terms. I speak out on issues I want to. Nobody is paying me for anything. Nobody gave me any mandate. I decide to speak on issues I want to. So it's not like, oh, there are certain issues you can speak on. There are some that you can't. Because like in the right sense, they say you have to be politically correct. I don't do that. If this is the issue, and for me, it's the way I see it, and this is the truth, I'm going to speak about it, whether it's politically correct or it's not politically correct. And so as a politician, sometimes they have to weigh that, because at the end of the day, they will still come back to the people to demand for their mandate.
She says men have often called out her husband for allowing her to speak out against the government, but he's in full support of her advocacy.
The man will saw my husband like, okay, I've been wanting to see you. Why is it that your wife, you allow her to be out there demanding for Chibok girls? And my husband would say to him, if your daughter was amongst those that were abducted, would you want my wife to speak for you or not?
One day we may have a female president, but in the meantime, most Nigerian women find it easier to say and do what they want outside the walls of the legislature. Tosin Additional, Channels Television News.